If you were a child of the 1950s and 60s, belonging to the baby boomer generation, the name Fess Parker would be familiar to you. He famously portrayed iconic figures like Davy Crockett and Daniel Boone, popularizing the iconic coonskin cap. Fess Elisha Parker, born on August 16, 1924, was a struggling actor at the age of 29 in 1954. With rugged good looks and a soft Texas drawl, Parker's big break came when he encountered Walt Disney. At that time, Walt Disney was in search of someone to star in a 3-part series about Davy Crockett. This series was scheduled to air during the debut season of Disney's weekly Disneyland TV show on ABC. James Arness, known for his role in Gunsmoke, was among the actors considered for the role. However, during a screening of the sci-fi thriller Them, Disney's attention was drawn to a young actor with a minor role, Fess Parker, who stood at an impressive 6'6". The first of the Davy Crockett adventures, Davy Crockett, Indian Fighter, aired on December 15, 1954, and it catapulted Parker to instant fame. The show, King of the Wild Frontier, sparked a frenzy of merchandise. Over 10 million coonskin caps were sold, along with a surge in sales of Old Betsy rifles, buckskin shirts, T-shirts, coloring books, guitars, bedspreads, and wallets, all bearing Crockett's name. The show's catchy theme song, The Ballad of Davy Crockett, also became a hit, reaching #1 on the charts and staying there for 13 weeks. Fess Parker once reflected on the overwhelming power of television, noting how rapidly everything changed for him. Even Walt Disney was surprised by the public's reaction. By the time the first episode finished airing, they were already filming the third, and had decided to depict Davy's demise at the Alamo. The series became one of television's biggest overnight successes, leaving them with just 3 episodes and a dead hero. In response, the studio quickly produced 2 prequels for the second season of Disneyland and edited the first 3 episodes into a feature film, Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier, released in May 1955. The later TV segments featuring Buddy Ebsen as Crockett's sidekick were also combined into the 1956 film Davy Crockett and the River Pirates. In the summer of 1955, Parker embarked on a cross-country tour, making personal appearances. He was greeted by crowds of up to 20,000 fans at each airport he landed at, experiencing a level of fame akin to the Beatles, although this was before the Beatles' explosion onto the scene. Born in Fort Worth, Texas, and raised in San Angelo, Texas, Parker served in the Navy during World War II. He graduated with a history degree from the University of Texas under the GI Bill in 1950. However, his interest had shifted to acting, prompting a move to Hollywood. Under contract with Disney, Parker appeared in several films, including The Great Locomotive Chase, Westward Ho, The Wagons, The Light in the Forest, and Old Yeller. Despite his success, Parker felt his film career was limited by Disney. One day, Walt Disney casually mentioned that director John Ford had wanted Parker for a role in The Searchers, opposite John Wayne, which eventually went to Jeffrey Hunter. Disney told Parker that he had turned down the role on his behalf, a decision that Parker later regretted. John Ford never forgave Parker, believing it was Parker's own choice to reject the role, unaware it was Disney's decision. Parker also turned down a role opposite Marilyn Monroe in Bus Stop, based on Disney's advice that it wasn't the right fit for him. Despite these disagreements, Parker and Disney had a good relationship. Parker respected Disney as a friend and a genius, but they often clashed on career direction. Eventually, Parker became disillusioned with the studio, leading to their separation. As the Crockett craze waned, so did Parker's career, but he experienced a resurgence from 1964 to 1970, starring in the TV adventure series Daniel Boone, based on the real-life American frontiersman. After Daniel Boone, Parker largely retired from acting, save for occasional guest appearances, and turned his focus to real estate. After 21 years in Hollywood, he decided it was time for a change. Parker, along with his wife Marcella, whom he married in 1960, delved into the real estate market, They bought and sold properties, built hotels, and eventually started growing wine grapes on a 22,000-acre vineyard in California's Central Coast. This venture earned him the nickname King of the Wine Frontier, with coonskin caps enjoying a nostalgic comeback. The vineyard's first harvest in 1989 won numerous medals and awards, with Parker's children, a son and a daughter, working at the winery. In the 1960s, Parker showed interest in creating a Davy Crockett-themed amusement park. He secured land in northern Kentucky with plans for Frontier World. However, when Taft Broadcasting Company began constructing Kings Island Amusement Park in Mason, Ohio, less than 2 hours from Parker's planned site, funding for Parker's project dried up. In 1985, Parker considered running for the U.S. Senate in 1986 as a Republican, identifying as a true conservative, similar to Ronald Reagan. Fess Parker passed away from natural causes on March 18, 2010, at his home in California, coinciding with the 84th birthday of his wife of 50 years. Thank you, Fess Parker, for the memorable roles you brought to life. We cherished you as we grew up. Rest in peace. Here we end. Thank you for your attention. Like and subscribe. There are many interesting things ahead. Good luck.